Alright guys, I just like doing YouTube videos. So this time, I'm going to do a video about the Behemoth and the Leviathan. Both are from the Bible, and specifically the book of Job. The book of Job being the oldest story in the world. Remember that. Alright, this would be a two-parter, obviously. Behemoth, Leviathan. And this is going to be the Behemoth. We'll do Leviathan next time. Alright. The Behemoth. The Behemoth is a creature from ancient mythology / the Bible. Pretty popular because, it's scary and people love fear. But here we go. So, the biblical description of the Behemoth is this. Behold now Behemoth, which I make with thee. He eateth grass as an ox. Lo now, his strength is in his loins, and his force is in the navel of his belly. He moveth his tail like a cedar. The sinews, that's a tendon, of his stones. Anytime you read the Bible and you see the word stone, it means natural. If it says brick, it's man-made. Solomon's temple was stone, natural. Alright. His sinews, tendons, of his stones, natural body, are wrapped together. His bones are as strong as pipes of brass. His bones are like bars of iron. He is the chief of the ways of God. That's important. He's very patient. He that made him can make his sword to approach unto him. Surely the mountains bring him forth food, where all the beasts of the field play. He lieth under the shady trees, in the covert of the reed and fens. The shady trees cover him with their shadows. The willows of the brook compass him about. Behold, he drinketh up a river, and hasteth not. He trusteth that he can draw up the Jordan into his mouth. He taketh it with his eyes. His nose pierceth through the snares. Now, the Behemoth is believed to be a whole bunch of things. Literally, every video game has one. All kinds of things. But based on this description here, and this is the original description, oldest story in the world, we can tell clearly what a behemoth is. The meaning of the word behemoth today, the definition is this: behemoth, something enormous in size or power. Looking at these lines, we can see what it is. He eats the grass like an ox. He swings his tail like a cedar, which is a tree. He lays under the shady trees. He rests in the covert of the reed and fens. Reed and fens are plants that grow in water, and they're like 10 feet tall. He drinks up a river and hasteth not. He is visible, or you're able to see him by his eyes. And that's how he takes the Jordan. When the animals in the water see him coming, they get the hell out of there. And his nose pokes out of the water. So, the behemoth is a large animal that lives in water but relaxes on land in the shade. He has a huge mouth to swallow up a river. He moves slow, and you can spot him because his eyes and nose poke out of the water. More so, he takes over the river when the other animals see his eyes coming. Can you guess what it is? It's a hippo. Hip-hop anonymous, as they say in Big Daddy. Alright. That seems like a logical conclusion based on the description, right? Because that describes a hippo perfectly. Now, before I flip things around, I want to point out that as someone who tries to read between the lines, when I read this description in my Bible, which is a New American Standard Bible that was made in the year 1970, and it's a family Bible for a pastor. So it has like a bunch of extra notes and all kinds of extra stuff in it. It's wonderful. When I read this description in my Bible, what stuck out to me was the fact that they describe the bones of the hippo as being thick as brass pipes and like a light switch. I began wondering, how in the world did they know what a brass pipe was 2,000 years ago? Brass is an alloy. It's two metals mixed together, and those metals are aluminum and copper. Aluminum and copper are natural. Brass is not. It's not a natural metal. So, not only did they know what brass was, they knew what a pipe was. Brass pipes are for plumbing. And based on what we were taught, there was no way they had plumbing 2,000 years ago. Truth is, the way things are right now, with the big cities, plumbing, electric lines everywhere, is exactly how things were back then. There is no difference between now and then. Nothing new under the sun. You are lied to about everything. Now look at what men have become. Because they believed this shit that people tell them today. They believe that men who could tell you where the sun would rise in the sky tomorrow, 2,000 years ago, they could figure it out for tomorrow. They believe that these people were retarded sheep herders that were afraid when the sun went away at night. Figure it out, guys. Time is short. Now, let's go into my favorite part, inside. As I said in another video, for every animal on Earth, there is a body part with the same name, because the outside is a reflection of the inside. So what part of the body is named for the hippo? Guess what? It's in your brain. And if you've watched my video on reptilians, you're really gonna love this truth. Now, this is I googled and cut and paste and shit. So here's this. Humans have known about the hippopotamus for more than 4 centuries. It's the hippocampus. Humans have known about the hippocampus for more than 4 centuries. It is one of the most studied parts of the brain. The name comes from the Greek word hippo, meaning horse, and campo, meaning monster. 2 words used a lot in the book of Revelation, as its shape resembles that of a seahorse. It's in your brain. Its main function involves human learning and memory. Knowing about the hippocampus has helped researchers understand how memory works. The hippocampus is part of the limbic system, which is associated with the functions of feeling and reacting. The limbic system is situated on the edge of the cortex, and it includes the hypothalamus and the amygdala. These structures help control different bodily functions, such as the endocrine system, which is the nervous system, and what is commonly known as the fight or flight reaction. That's the reptilian. The hippocampus basically retrieves memories and turns short-term memories into long-term memories. It can shrink and expand. The shrinking is related to Alzheimer's disease, depression, and stress. It expands and provides better memory and thought clarity. And funny enough, it's called the heart of the brain. Eyes to see, ears to hear. I hope someone actually understands how important this information is, because that's a revelation. That's really important information. Love you all. See you soon.